I'm waiting for more people to get here. Hi, would you if you want to join, go ahead and make a request. All right, we got one more open window.
Hey, host, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Ego naman information kaniyang pujor bagyam. Nalayalay kaya ego naman. Walak Bwebwenato kan history kanan majal me. Jeman. Ego naman. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, that's cool, Ruthlin. I've been reading a book. I found the book by myself on the internet. Just digging. And it's a book written by one of the first explorers that got to Mayo in 1870s, whatever. No, 1850s or hold up. The book was published in 1914, but they started writing it, I think it was in 1904 or before. And then 1915 is when Japan came and took over everything. So it was missionaries first. 10 months later, traders came. And then they stayed there for over 50 years until one of them, like the guy that wrote the book, he came to Mayo at first, and then he left, and then he came back again. I think. And when he came back again, he was like, what the heck? Why are you guys missionaries been here for a while and you guys didn't write down nothing? So he started writing down things. And yeah, there's still a lot missing too. You say what?
What's the guy's name? The guy that wrote that book.
P.A. Erdland, Erdland.
Shoot, I don't know him. Okay.
Oh yeah, we got Mimi in the house, Miss Chalele.
Hello.
Yago.
Oh. Whatever.
Okay, so
Tell stories too.
No. This is learning time.
okay. So, first of all, welcome to the podcast. This is open floor because the point here is to connect and learn from each other instead of like keeping what we know to ourselves. A lot of what I've been reading is like I type it out and then read it later because it's so before we start this chapter, well, actually, let's do a summary for the last section. So the last section we did was religion and magic, which was section 4, and then a lot of drama, a lot of drama came out of that, and I think it really shook up a lot of people's foundations, especially the people that utilize Christianity as an identity, like because one of the things I also read was that one of the reasons why our own ancestors got hooked, well, not got hooked, but they held on to Christianity and colonization is because we didn't have an identity, so they clung to Christianity out of like fear because we don't know who we are. And before I start this part 2 is sociology or society, law, and customs. So before I start this one, disclaimer, I'm reading what's in the book. I'm not starting no drama. Because we're gonna we're going to cover as much as I wrote. I translated. Chapter 1 is what I'm starting to translate, and it's social and political structure, inheritance law, class division, class insignia, which is like a kakalay of what class you are by tattoos, clothing, jewelry, where you live, inheritance, and disputes over succession. Okay, that's chapter 1. Okay, yeah. So, part 2, sociology and society, law and customs. I just read to you chapter 1. I'm going to read you the table of contents. Chapter 2, rights of chiefs, ownership of chiefs, servitude of commoners, serfdom of commoners, which is like the commoners that have nothing, no title, no land, no nothing. Yeah, they're called serfs in not Marshallese. Food and support of chiefs by commoners, right to property and persons, blood ban. Chapter 3, kinship and totemism, degrees of kinship, classificatory system, artificial kinship, which is adoption. Keep in mind, because what's her name said something about adoption. We are one. Because when she said when she said that when she got the message of God, things was gonna happen, blah blah blah, with Rumajo, the Marshallese, whatever's going on, higher people, and she has said something about how adoption has become a problem, because one of the things we used to do is like kachuriri, everybody did it, everybody adopted everybody's kid, so it was like the lineages are very on top of that. We do the really good stuff, so you know we're already related, so we're like triple, quadruple, somewhere. Anyways, chapter 4, marriage and position of women, courtship, which is like how you kakabay and kakal, hey babe, holler at me. Marriage, fidelity, divorce, position of women, flying women, which was the millenguar, polygamy, which was multiple wives, but I'm pretty sure the Lerojes also had multiple lovers. Position of the chief wife and concubines, widowhood. That's chapter 4. Chapter 5, birth, position of children, excuse my language, sexual intercourse, pregnancy, childbirth, dismissal spells, naming, songs, the number of children, nutrition, children's games, child rearing, and the rights of the firstborn. Chapter 6, sexual morality, which is funny because Marshallese people are so like very anti like sexual, like very taboo. Like we don't talk about sex to our children, and then all of a sudden they coming home pregnant as fuck. Sexual. Okay, chapter 6, sexual morality, and then there's this word lasciviousness, seduction, and precocity of children. I had to look that up. What the hell that meant? It means like exposing children to sexual things pretty early, and then treating them as such. Like how 10-year-olds were getting married to 50-year-olds back then. Onset of puberty celebration of the chief's daughter. She was the only one that could have a ritual, or not a ritual, a ceremony.
Can you answer the comment right there, please?
Which one? What year was this book? 1914. But it was written in 1904. Published 1914.
Damn.
Menstrual customs
10
and
years?
suicide. Huh?
10 years?
Yeah, I think they were documenting for 10 years. A period
wow.
celebration for the eldest daughter. Yeah, it was only the chief's manje daughter. Or I think it was manje daughter. She was the only one that had a big village celebration. Everybody else was just regular. Menstrual customs and suicide, which is funny because our ancestors were aware of mental health conditions. Our elders now are like, Yeah, comental. Yeah, you know, they don't believe in that. But we had treatments for it. We were aware of it. And chapter 7, character and psychology. Statements of former travelers, good qualities, deep feeling, sense of honor, hospitality, peacefulness. Bad qualities, which is laziness, lying, sensuality, intellectual abilities. Yeah. So whenever, okay, spiritually speaking, right? Before we got colonized, we were up here. We were connected with Mother Nature. We were connected with higher power. We were connected with animals and plants all around us. We even became animals or plants after we passed. When we accepted Christianity, we brought down our spiritual knowledge from up here to down here. Because, like, if you look at the way we are now as people, the way we treat each other, the way we talk to each other, the way we treat ourselves, is very rooted in self-hate. Because when the colonizers came, they taught us, like, ew, what are you doing? Ew, what is that? That's so gross. That's disgusting. And which is the same thing you hear Marshallese people say now, and it pisses me off. I had to take a break from the internet for a week because I was arguing with people all day, every day for 5 freaking days straight because everybody's like, I don't know, no offense, but as a collective, everybody is like in a freaking box. Okay? Been saying it, we were never saved, we were retaught different culture. Yeah, they replaced our culture, been replaced it. Holistic medicine's extremely strong with us, also Pacific Islanders. Yeah, man, wait till y'all find out why they bombed Bikini. Shit. Yes, thank you, Eli. Goose Fraba. I gotta relax. Your live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Suicide and self-harm, okay? I can't say that word no more. I just got a warning. So there's certain words I can't say on my lives. I don't say the G word, glubberment. I don't say the C word too much. Colonization. And other mental health, self-harm things, I'm sorry. Yeah, they'll end your life, no warning after that first warning, so excuse my language. I'm sorry. TikTok spies. You got banned for a week one time. Yeah, they banned me 3 days at the most because it's like one of the things I like, because I always say there's things I can't talk about yet, because if I talk about it, especially in English, the people that run these technologies, they watch you. They really watch you. They really do. There's keywords you can't say. There's things you can't, okay. Anyways, Chapter 1, Social and Political Structure, Inheritance Law, Class Division, Chief and Sub-Chiefs, Nobles and Commoners. Like, what we know is so basic. We only know the commoners and the commoners and the royal, like those 2 classes, but there's like ranks underneath the common rank, the commoners. Okay, chapter 1, part 2. The natives distinguish between 2 social groups, nobles and commoners, each of which is divided into 2 subdivisions. Nobles, which is Irod and Burak. Irod, high-ranking, politically supreme chieftain. Burak, noble, politically subordinate chieftain. Commoners, which is, there's 2 types of commoners. The Lakatokotok, Latokotok, distinguished political counselor. And the Kajur, Kajur, is a commoner, is a political subject. Since mother's rights prevails, the mother's rank alone determines the rank of the son or daughter. Thus, an iroj has a liroj. I guess they changed it to liroj. Liroj because it's spelled Liroj. Liroj, she iroj is how they translated it. A burak, there's also a luburak, which is the mom that's a burak. Luburak. So there's liroj and luburak. Whereas the father of both can be a high-ranking noble or commoner. The burak politically assumes the rank of an iroj and his own subjects. The burak politically assumes the rank of an iroj amongst his own subjects. So that the subjects call the respective burak their political iroj, to whom they owe absolute obedience. A burak has absolute ownership rights to his lands and can give them away or sell them at will. For example, Nelu, because these are figures of, like, these are people, these are the group of people that, implemented the Marshallese Nilijalai into our culture. Nelu gave his cousin and chieftain Loyak lands on Ebon and Ailingalabeleb because the good-natured cousin allowed him to have intercourse with his wives. So that's one thing we used to do. We used to trade our wives for land and rights. Because we had multiple wives, so you could have one. You can have one. You pick which one you want. If let me just get that plot of land over there. You pick whichever wife. The land holdings of a burak may far exceed those of an iroj. In order to acquire tribute rights over such lands of a burak, the iroj have always sought to enter into alliances with wealthy burak. In order to acquire tribute rights over such lands of, so if the Iroj wanted a Burak's land, they would team up together. And it's usually a Burak that's like a higher up there Burak. Because Numaroa was the richest landowner in the Relic group. The already much wedded Kabua, so Kabua had 1 million wives already, took her as his wife. Despite this marriage, Nelu remained the sole owner of all of his mother Numaroa's lands, but paid annual tribute to his cousin and stepfather. Nelu's father and Kabua's mother, Kaiboge on the one hand and Lodge on the other. Nelu's father, Kabua's mom, Kaiboge and Lodge were siblings. Furthermore, as the firstborn of a firstborn, Nelu enjoyed a special prestige. Through previous intermarriage and inheritance, each Iroj owns one or another Burak as a person subject to his tributary. Through previous intermarriage and inheritance? What the heck does that mean? Through previous intermarriage and inheritance, each Iroj owns one or another Burak as a person subject to his tributary. The sub-chief provides his chief with free subjects to work for him, fight for him, and assist him in most important matters. In cases of serious disputes, however, the sub-chief will withdraw and go his own way until reconciliation. Both the chief and the sub-chief exercise their power and sovereignty exclusively over their own lands. Thus, when Kabua concluded a treaty with the German government in 1878 for the purpose of protectorate over Relic Group, he exceeded his authority, since his cousin owned far more land in the Relic Group and surpassed Kabua in prestige. He certainly had no right to negotiate Germany's protectorate over both groups. Even if he was called king and lord in the protectorate, this title was nothing other than a political power. It happens that, from a political point of view, someone is merely a sub-chief on an atoll. Let us take the case that an Iroj of the Ralik group married a Luburak from the same Ralik group. Okay. Finch, I guess Finch is one of the missionaries. No. Finch is one of the other explorers. He mistaken on 2 points when he claims that the old chief Kabua was merely a nobleman from the northern atoll of Rongelap and only became a high nobleman through his marriage to Nimoroa, wife of the feared chief Kaiboge of Ebeon. Time out. So were we married to the same person? Chief Kabua was married from. Only became a high noble to his marriage to Nimoroa, wife of the feared chief Kaiboge of Ebeon. Oh yeah. Okay, because first Lord Kabua's mother was a respected Leroy. And second, Numoroa only held the rank of Luburak, which is why Nemoro Nelu, her son from her first marriage, was also a mere Burak. The previous confusion in the political structure was unbelievable. It's only 6 of us on here, you guys. I'm gonna cut this part out, but this right here is about to shake some shit up.
You gotta cut it. Why you gotta cut it out?
No, me commenting right now.
Oh, okay.
But me reading that tree, that's what they're trying to hide. That's one of the things they're trying to hide. The son or daughter will be a simple burak on the chief's lands in the Rada group. The same applies on the atolls of the same group. For example, Jaimada, Kabua's son, is in Iroj on Ujai and Lai, whereas he is a burak on Jaloj Ebon and Ailenglap, where Kabua also owns land. The children of a Luburak and a Iroj are called burak Iroj. Interesting. However, if a chief or sub-chief marries a common woman, the children born from the marriage are called Buragin Egemeuj, white fish, and enjoy the prestige of high chief's children, but only until the father's death. So, if a chief...
I think there's a fish called burak.
Isn't there though? That sounds...
Yeah, I think that's what they say. Burak in the milk.
Okay. So, if a chief marries a burak woman, his children are treated as royalty until he dies. And then after that, they just go back to being regular burak.
Yeah. So they're into a commoner.
Yeah. What is the English name for the fish? For burak fish?
Shoot. I don't know. To be honest.
Okay. Buragin Egemeuj, and this expression comes from the requirement for the earlobe described in chapter 3. Girl, we gonna have to run that back one day. As stated there, what is called mijimich in Egemeuj is taken for extension. Just as the cheek portion does not belong to the actual earlobe but is merely borrowed from the cheek, so too is the child conceived by an ordinary woman and an Iroj, not a member of the chieftain's family by birthright, right, but merely a borrowed one added from outside. What? That don't make no sense. Hold up. Okay, this has something to do with adoption. Let's run that back. This is a random saying. Just as the cheek portion does not belong to the actual earlobe, so this doesn't belong here, but it's borrowed from the cheek. So too is the child conceived by an ordinary woman and an Iroj, not a member of the chieftain's family by birthright, but merely a borrowed one added from outside.
Yeah, adoption.
Why couldn't they just say that? Dang. That was a lot of brain power. All right.
So, because I think like when ngay chala kopanchuan no yan lero siya, I think that's what they do or did.
Yeah, because we also had abortions.
Yeah.
We had Marshallese abortions. Like,
So whenever ngay chala kopan no yun, they kachiriri.
yeah. And sometimes they kajuriri actual manjes from another
Yeah.
branch, you know?
Yeah.
And say, this is my manje.
So I think that's how they kept the bloodline going.
Oh.
The bloodline of the chiefs.
Yeah, it's a lot of cousins. Because,
Yeah, and that's the thing for them, like for the chiefs. In order for them to keep that's why they say when they marry the Burak, they're trying to keep the bloodline going.
yeah. That's how
So
Egyptians
that
used to do it.
yeah,
Like, literally, our whole structure, like, high chief, sub chief, and then right there is, like, the magician guy, and then the rest of them, you know, Olive and da-da-da.
yeah.
That's the same structure that ancient Egyptians
The
used to
the
have.
Egyptian did, yeah.
That makes me wonder, because, hold on, let me finish reading first. A nobleman, Adok means, wait, because it's Laatoktok.
Lahat-
Adok means strong and powerful. A nobleman, they called him the Laatokotok, is an ordinary subject who has distinguished himself through intellectual gifts or outstanding service on land or at sea. A nobleman, what is that? A nobleman usually gains this he kind of like makes himself stand out with his brain and with how he works on land or at sea, and who as a reward has received more or less large lands as fiefdoms from the chieftain or sub-chieftain. So if you're a commoner, because a nobleman is a high-ranking commoner. If you do a good job being a commoner and doing what you do, they gift you, the Yoruba just gift you land. Honors and titles are inherited from generation to generation. It is the duty of such a nobleman whose position can be compared to our middle class, right, to assist the chieftain with advice and action, like an assistant. And even though the deliberations of the chieftains with their nobles are neither official or public, the chieftains nevertheless willingly obey their advisors. This is all the more so since in earlier years, some of them were magicians or masters of ceremonies. Similar hierarchy system as Imperial China or something. Yeah. Just ancient. Yeah. This is all more so since in earlier years, some of the okay, so that's what they talk about. So you know how I explained like the high chief, sub chief, and then the magician guy, right? Back in the day, it was a magic person, but then over time, they replaced it with a high-ranking commoner. If in any case, even today, the nobles belong to the class of the knowledgeable and wise. They're called Rujaleran and are held in high esteem to both chieftains and subjects. And they call it kujen punubun. An ordinary subject, on the other hand, is incapable of thought, and his counsel is called counsel of softwood. Bebeyin aganu. Aganu? What the fudge cakes? Aakenu. Aganu. Okay. Most seafarers and astronomers are noble, and therefore strive to pass on their knowledge. People who possess newly acquired knowledge rather than inherited knowledge are called unfit for combat, and they called it lurik, Lurik. Time out. Most seafarers are, so a lot of the seafarers and the wayfinders, the people that can read the planets and the stars, they were high-ranking commoners. So they intended to pass on their knowledge. People who possess newly acquired knowledge rather than inherited knowledge are called unfit for combat. So if you get new knowledge from somewhere else instead of learning from your lineage, you are called unfit for combat. Jeez. Just as a young fighting bird lacks the audacity of an old fighting rooster, so too can an ordinary family that has only recently risen to prominence not possess the knowledge of an ancient one. So just because you know something and you got a title, don't mean you know shit. If you're not getting that knowledge from your elders, is what basically how we kind of looked at it. Okay. So like the scientists, they do a lot of research and observation. Basically. Okay. The common thank you for the presents. Okay, the common or unranking subject called a kajur, Kajur, is a worthless being, just a human being. Aramit Bachuk is what they called it. There is an unbridgeable gap between the common unranking subject and the nobleman. So the high-ranking commoner and the bottom down of the pole, the power pole, whatever you call it, two completely different lifestyles and two completely different respect, even though they're all commoners. Jeez, this is a lot of rank stuff. Like, that's so not cool, because there is an unbridgeable gap between him and the nobleman, so that the nobleman values him less than a human being. Feudal outlook. He owns no land of his own, but merely cultivates the nobleman's to create a living and provide for the ruler's welfare. He's an oppressed serf, deprived of all rights. Yeah, I translated a German book, and I'm working on putting it all together into one PDF file or something so that everybody can read it. I don't want to gatekeep this, because one thing people was doing was gatekeeping all this knowledge by hiding it. How we in 2025 and we don't know anything about our history, and we're just now learning it. My goodness. And it's not from anybody that's in charge of anything right now either. Okay, despite the noble's prominent position, there is hardly any external splendor, not even external markings to be seen. Even in earlier years, a nobleman could be distinguished from a subject by only a few insignia. Like, they're talking about kakale. So even if you're a high-ranking commoner, which is what they call a nobleman, there's not really much any kakale on you to make you stand out and be known as the nobleman. Like how we had tattoos. Tattoos, right? Tattoos. Tattoos and wood, mara, all that stuff. As already shown, the nobles wore fine and complete tattoos. However, they were highly valued as they were considered a symbol of connection with the ancestors. An indelible and inalienable legacy. What are those words mean? Another insignia of the nobles was the braided mat hem, which is the luko, along with the elaborate weave that concealed the connection between the mat and the mat hem. So like, you know, the kind of like the hem, like the waistband of your pants or of the mat that they tied around your waist. Remember that? Oh, a weave. So one of the ways that we used to collect our position in society was, I mean, like, I think everybody knows this. Whenever the way we weaved our juggy, right? Certain patterns belong to certain chiefs, certain ranks, certain families. So that's another thing. Like if you look at old pictures of Riato, the ones that wore juggies, if you pay attention to the patterns of the juggies, it tells you who's who. Yeah, cause the royal families, they were only, it was only them that was allowed to wear a certain type of weaving juggy pattern. Okay. And sometimes whenever they would weave these gagalas into the juggies, some of the weaving patterns would be hidden under certain folds. Yeah, that's what this thing is saying. The mat belt of the nobles was also finer and longer than that of ordinary subjects. Necklaces made of spondylus. Hold on, let's look up what that is. It sounds like a sponge, like a piece of coral reef. Hold on, let's look that up. Spondylus. Yeah, a piece of coral reef. Yeah. Okay. Now where the hell were we? And whale tooth. Okay, necklaces made of coral and whale teeth were permitted to be worn only by nobles. Today, and this was in 1914, because listen to this. Today, whale tooth chains have disappeared. So whenever they first started writing these books, it was like in 1906, 1904, They had already mentioned that, you know, at that time, they said, they acknowledged that a lot of our money was disappearing at that time. And that was like 130 years ago. Not even 200 years. Like, we're not that far. 100 might sound like a lot, but that's not that far. That's not that long ago. The above mentioned mat decorations were transferred to home woven mats with the introduction of these, insofar as the chief's hats had raised wicker work or one interwoven with blackened bast. So I guess blackened bast is what they used to add the dark colors on the juggies, the old juggies from a long time ago. And some of the chiefs also wore hats. Yeah, well, 4, 5, 6 generations. Yeah, we're not that far. And it's crazy because whenever you look at because you guys are aware of Luedo in Mode, right? She's the giver of life, one of the sister stars. She was maybe 6 generations ago. She came from the stars. We came from the stars. We came from the stars. That's the crazy part. We came from the stars. We came from Pleiades constellation. That's why, like, a lot of our history, we don't know nothing. Because our old language was magic. All of our ways was magic. We were all powerful. We were, like, up there. And then we came to Christianity and brought ourselves down. Flower wreaths are found among all natives. At important festivals, however, only the chieftain is allowed to appear with several marmar yum wood. The members of the chieftain families, however, can usually be distinguished at first glance from ordinary subjects by their better appearance and more elegant clothing. Because of their wealth, they can go to great lengths and procure more plentiful self-imported food. What does self-imported mean? Because of their wealth, they can go to great lengths and procure. So they have the resources to go get more food. Because, at the same time, we used to do magic to create ourselves more food. We had the bup. We used to worship the bup and the me. Worship it like it's a, give us more. There are even dapper chiefs and vain chiefs' wives who squander a lot of money on clothing and give away those that have been only worn once or twice to their subjects, of course. Others, however, are so stingy that they forego finery and forbid it to their subjects. In such cases, the poor man is easily recognized by his torn and ragged clothes. The chief's hut is usually located separately from the others, and it's distinguished by its large, narrow structure. At almost all times of the day, subjects can be found in front of the hut, either bringing gifts to the chief or simply Bwebwenatoing with him. If the chief sits in an open space, his subjects sit at a respectful distance from him. Anyone walking in front of him must do so with a crouched posture, buttock. Upon arrival at the chief's hut, the subject sits down, then greets the chief with the customary greeting, yakwayuk. And they say, I love you, I greet you. And then begins the conversation. The ordinary subject is not allowed to enter the chief's hut, which is forbidden even for a friendly visiting chief. The friendly chief is allocated separate huts for himself, his family, and his entourage. It must be considered a special favor of the chief if the chief invites a visitor to enter the hut and settle there. Jealousy is one's own wife's jealousy of a wife prevents the kindness of entering the home. There you go. No woman may appear before her chief with flowing hair. Yeah, so women were never, ever seen by men with wet hair. We used to go all the way to the other side of the island, wash our hair, wait till it dries up, and then go home. I'm getting hungry.
It's funny because it's still being practiced nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of all the things that we held on to, huh?
That.
Okay. Women and girls who are menstruating, if you're having your mezenalung, are not allowed to enter a chief's hut at all, even if they have been called by him, if they have been summoned by the chief. Do not appear even if the chief has been summoned. If they don't appear, even though the chief sent for them, he can easily guess the reason for their absence. Such a woman was also not allowed to enjoy food from the chief's hut. Why? That makes me mad. You discriminate us because we have periodic tables.
Because
Okay. The conversation between subjects and their chiefs is informal. However, if a subject speaks to the chief's wife, he must call her Lilep. Not only does that mean the old woman, but it also means the crone. I don't know what that means. Let's look it up. Dying crone. What is a crone? Oh, the heck? That's another word for old woman. All right. An ugly old woman?
bruh.
Ooh. Dang.
Oh
All right.
man.
Likewise,
Oh,
he may
someone
only,
says right there.
huh?
Maiden mother crone, cycle of woman's life.
Yeah, Google says crone, noun, an ugly woman.
That's the first one?
That's the only one. Okay. All right, this is okay. I'm going to read the last parts of what I translated so far. So these are the 3 chapters within that section that okay. Anyways, likewise, he may only call the chief's mat bungi and not, as is customary, ying. What the hell is that? The visit must not be prolonged, as other subjects may have special matters to address. After the visit, one does not speak to others on the way. Otherwise, the chief might think that they're talking about him and his family. Any noise in the vicinity of the chief's family is forbidden and highly disrespectful.
Can you repeat the word again?
Which one? Bungi?
Only and what's the other one?
Ying.
Ying?
I-N. But it got the squiggly over it.
Oh, ying?
I don't know. It's an old word.
Like they don't like describe it what it does or means.
Not all of it. He may only call the chief's mat bungi, which is bast skirt. But they don't explain what a ing is. So they call it a luko. I don't know.
A grass skirt?
Yeah, the grass skirt. No, not the grass skirt. The juggy skirt. The juggy. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I have for now. I think we covered like 3 chapters.
Ruthven said, when we are menstruating, we are shedding a spiritual term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why they don't want you. I think that's why, Evan, it was forbidden for when they're in their, you know, midnight.
Yeah.
I think they didn't want it to be bothered.
Okay, we just covered chapter 1 and majority of chapter 2. What? Okay. The last 2 things I need to translate for chapter 2 is right to property and persons and the blood ban. Yeah. So next week we're going to cover that and kinship and totemism. And we keep having to go over what is tayin negajab tayin totem or tayin anich. So I posted a few days ago, I reshared whenever I was reading the first part of part 4, whenever it covered what a ekajap and what a anich is, I don't know. I'm not repeating myself right now because I keep saying it in every live.
I was about to say, don't repeat.
I'm not repeating it, but man, that's the main thing that people need to understand is ekajap and anich, because we didn't have Jesus, we had ekajap. And yeah, that's a lot. It's a
That's a lot
lot.
to take in.
Oh, yeah. What Tristan said. So we're gonna
Let me translate that in English. He's
and
saying
I
put
put
it
that on the
put it
period
on the
poo.
Eva,
Kulungul medyo ko.
I saw someone put that up on Twitter like years ago. They were like, so Yas Queen is Aileroyen and
Mhm.
period poo is Diggity on Mejanandang. I was like,
That
bro,
that was Aina.
kid.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let me look up.
Freaking Tristan, man. Can't believe you remember the space time, man.
Oh,
I use that shit all the
means.
time in my vocabulary.
Um. Okay. So we dabbled in polygamy and exogamy.
Ooh, that
Ex-
should be
Exogamy?
interesting.
polygamy is when you had multiple wives, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Exogamy is the custom of marrying outside a community, clan, or tribe. And it basically means the fusion of reproductive cells from distantly related individuals. Outbreeding, cross pollination.
What?
Cross pollination all day.
So
Gotta drink
not
my
your
water.
cousins, like your distant cousins from like over there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
exogamy.
Basically, so not your cousins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruh, okay, I'm just
That's what
saying.
cross
My
pollination
poo,
is.
okay. So my poo and Jima are from the same tree. They're just like generations down. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
I like how they mentioned. I like how they put cross pollination.
Yeah, because it makes sense.
I mean, that's a good way to describe it for so people can understand for sure. But like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Put in some crazy work
But,
in there, yo.
but that's what we did. Like somebody sent me their family tree. And it's like, it draws out the regular tree.
Mm-hmm.
Draws out the regular tree, right? But then all the crosses go all over the place. Cause
Right.
this cousin married that cousin over there. And there's like
Pollinating it.
Exactly.
it's like a spider web. But that's what makes me wonder, like, if we did that, right? Because you know how when the Egyptians did it and when the English people did it, they did the incest thing to keep the blood in the to keep the
Yeah.
bloodline pure. They eventually extincted themselves out. Oh
Mm-hmm.
no. Oh no. What? We have detected. No, I don't. Hold on. I got a warning from Twitter. I mean,
Again?
I don't know. It says I'm not active, as if I'm not talking on here. I thought y'all was spying on me. Not you guys. I'm talking about the people that are spying on me right now.
I think they're afraid of your aura.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess. I okay. So I also wanted to follow up on the Rabaga thing. I pulled cards on that because somebody was like, I want to know the rest of the story of Rabaga, and I had to consult my ancestors, which I really did. I really did. And I also I shared this. What I'm about to tell you, I shared it on my Snapchat yesterday.
Ooh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah. So um, my daughter's dad was because he has his little office room, and then I have my bedroom, and he said he was sitting in his office room with the door wide open, and there was a figure that, and he said the figure was but it was long and poofy all the way down to the back, and it was heading to my room, and yeah, and I asked him questions. I was like, did the energy from that spirit feel like threatening, negative? And he said no. Well, he couldn't really tell. And I kind of sat on it for a few days, and I pulled cards because I'm not quick. I don't jump to pulling cards and doing boo boo because it takes a lot of my energy. So I kind of recuperated my energy, and then whenever I felt right to do it, I pulled cards just to see who that was. And that well, a few things came out. The more that I'm revealing Marshallese history, the more I am awakening the spirits that have been long forgotten. So the spirit that came, I guess me revealing the truth, it kind of like pulled him out. What do they call it? It pulled him
Is a
out of
he?
like, yeah, it's a he, long hair,
Okay.
and whenever my husband explained it, he said the best way I could explain to you what this figure looked like was a witch doctor.
Oh, okay.
So this
Out of the
spirit,
out of the void.
yeah, this spirit came, and like he don't want nothing. He doesn't want anything from me. He wants like
You just want clarity.
he kind of like he woke up and was like, "Hey, you're doing something that I failed to do."
Right.
Because he holds.
Kaya na Korea.
No, it was more like, "Oh, finally, finally," because he's tethered to
Oh,
the
it
earth.
sounds relief.
Yeah, he's tethered to the earth because when he passed, he had a burden on his heart that was very heavy because he was he was in charge of a community, and he teamed up with other people, and those other people betrayed him, and he lost control of everything, and they took control of everything. Like, what the hell does that sound like?
Take over.
Cause my lineage, she's a Kabua. So it's my Kabua ancestors, but not directly from my lineage, but somewhere in the tree. And the Kabuas are the ones that played a big role in the colonization of the Marshall Islands. So
Yes.
this spirit is kind of like he holds a burden on his heart for the way everything turned out. Like, and when he died, he died when we were transitioning from our old roots to colonization. Like, he died in the transition. He never got to see what it turned out to be. Because it was like he was,
Oh, so this was like late 1800s, going into
yeah,
the 19.
yeah. It was literally
Oh,
when
okay.
Rubeles first got to Mayo.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like He's like Buromwich. Yeah, Buromwich. He passed before he saw the full changes happen. Yes. It's basically like he wanted to hold on. He was holding on to our old ways, our actual ways. He was holding on to it very tight. But the way that society was progressing at the time, he started to become the only one that was holding on to the old ways. And then he got screwed over. Like the person he trusted very deeply. Like I still need to I still need to pull cards because it took me like 2.5 hours to pull all this information out with the boo. And I still have more questions I need to ask, but the only reason why I stopped is because I ran out of energy. I started feeling super exhausted and I got hungry. But yeah, okay. The more this Marshallese history is coming out, the more the spirits are moving. Because you got to keep in mind, before Christianity, we were heavily connected to the spirits on our land, to the nature, to the spirits of the cosmics. We were connected to all of it. So those same spirits, because ever since I started talking about ever since I started reading about the random spirits of Mayo, certain people started messaging me and sharing me their story of getting attacked by those spirits, like Uninak, getting attacked by sea creatures, sea spirits. You have such a strong backing to your mission already as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
I just want to go back under my rock, Thank you though. But yeah, because the more we like the more we talk about this, the more they awaken, the more they move things around, the more things are going to start to change. So no matter how much people are trying to keep control of what they have control of right now, it don't matter. That's going to come down with or without the help of humans. Does that make sense?
A lot of
It's also God's will. If you screw your own people over, you're going to pay for it regardless. And the people that know what I'm talking about, because it's like we're so disconnected from our elders that we have no idea that they have been talking and arguing about a generation scandal that's been going on since the beginning of colonization. Like that's how, like I just now learned about that this year, but they're not telling us nothing because there's so much fear mongering, so much controlling people, punishing people. And it's like a lot of the spirits that are on our land, and I don't care what anybody says, I feel like I need to draw something out to really explain what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, so when it comes to our religious, Christianity versus what we actually are, right? So, okay, so when it comes to, because last year, or I think it was 2-3 years ago, I came out with a video, and I was explaining the difference between religious God and a universal God, right? So, religious God comes from Christianity. Universal God is just higher power, that created everything. And I also say a lot, the Bible that we grew up on is crumbs compared to the whole loaf of bread. They don't want us to know everything, so they don't give us everything. So all these things about magic, period. Because this whole world is actually magical, but they wanted to control us. And anyways, when it comes to spiritual knowledge, religious God, this is who they want us to worship, right? But it keeps us in this small circle because this is all we know. Universal God is everywhere. Does that make sense? So when it's Christian God, when they tell us to praise the Christian God, it's like limitations. But whenever you just praise the higher power, universal God, you just praising the higher power. But whenever it's religious Christian God, it's just a limited knowledge. Because there's a lot they don't want us to know. They don't, Also, another thing, I want to address the collective energy in here. A lot of y'all. So when you guys sit in one room, whenever you guys have the same energy, that same energy pools together, and then it becomes a collective energy. So when a lot of you guys come in here, let me say, a lot of you guys need to speak your truth. A lot of y'all need, like, the reason why, like, you gotta cough all the time and all these muscles hurt right here, and then occasionally you get headaches that come from the back of your head. That's clogged throat chakra. You need to speak your truth, because a lot of y'all in here don't even talk. You guys don't talk. You guys
What are you
don't say
talking about? I talk.
You talk.
Of course I talk.
I talk about everybody else. Everybody else. Everybody else needs to speak their truth, because I feel it. I feel the collective energy. Everybody in here bites their tongue a lot. Everybody in here got neck muscle problems. Everybody in here is hurting up here. Up here.
Mine is my lower back. What does that mean?
My
What
shoulder
part?
blades.
Is it under your belly button or over your belly button? Well, you said lower back. Is it under your belly button or at your tailbone?
Near my tailbone. There you go.
Grounding. Also, it also has to do with like, because
That's my weakness.
if you overthink, if you think too much, all the energy comes right here. So if you stop overthinking, all that energy needs to come back down to your body, back to your feet, so you can ground yourself.
That's my weakness, grounding.
So it also has to do with fear. Let's do this. We could do energy readings right now, just
Yeah.
for fun.
Might as well.
Yeah,
Well,
let's do it. If you want an energy reading, just tell me. Tell me where it hurts.
Right over
I,
here. Right where I'm pointing, like my back, the shoulder.
did you hear? You need to.
Up, okay. So it could do with like not speaking your truth and also stressing about certain things
Come on,
on
now,
an
brother.
everyday basis.
Welcome in, Robinson.
Both,
Hello.
both definitely.
Ya voy, Jordan.
I hold back a
Yeah,
lot
wait, yeah, wait.
just because, a lot of the stuff that I want to say is a little controversial.
Yeah, it's that
And
time.
scary.
Yeah, like the that anxiety feeling. Like like have you ever been really motivated to do something, but then when it comes time to do it, you get like anxiety and you just like kind of ikum gum, don't want to do it no more?
Isn't that what I told you yesterday?
Yeah. Okay. So that feeling, if you already have it in your mind that you want to do something, but then something randomly stops you, right? That is trauma from your ancestors. Trauma from those that came before you. You got to work through it.
Generational curse.
You got
Yeah.
cuz it's like when it hits, you got two things. You could either fall and repeat the cycle, or you could break it and be like, nah, fuck all that. We're going to talk today.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what I just read about the Burak and the Iroid stuff, I almost didn't. But I had to tell myself, like, nah, we not gonna be sad. We not gonna be scared. We can't do like it's a lot. It's just a
When I
lot.
look at you, you remind me of Charlie Kirk. You are a Marshallese version of Charlie Kirk.
Okay, but
No, not exactly like Charlie Kirk, but your intelligence,
yeah.
Saran. There are some things you're talking about here are, ooh,
Oye, we look with leaving and but I'm so proud of
Thank
you.
you.
I'm so proud of you because you know the truth gotta be revealed. And
Yes,
20
it
minutes
does.
ago, any while whether you like it or not, I don't care how much money you got.
Yeah, it don't matter. The truth doesn't discriminate. Karma
It
doesn't
doesn't.
discriminate.
But it does hurt a lot of some people. Some people who try to manipulate um, our culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're not Charlie Kirk, but yet, you know,
Thank you.
you're
I
brother.
guess.
You're.
Enlightenment. There you go. That's the word.
Thanks. I like to say psychedelics brought me here.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I spent a lot of my younger years because I was depressed. I was a runana. I was in and out of jail. I was committing crimes. I was robbing people, fighting. I I was
All
doing
of us.
drugs. I did
All of us are
everything.
crazy. All of us are crazy. Don't worry, you're not alone.
Yeah,
And
you know what's the crazy thing though? Like once you're on psychedelics and you're on that journey, that spiritual journey, that's how it start off. Spiritually journey. It connects you to a lot of people that you weren't like you didn't think that you were gonna be connected with.
hmm,
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
hmm,
like a gateway. There you go.
yeah, the gateway. Well, yeah, I had when was the last time? I think my biggest psychedelic trip was in 2018. Everything that I'm doing now, they told me. They told me during that acid trip, and I started crying. And because it took a while, I was like, no, no, it's not. No, I'm not. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not. No, But it's kind of like I guess because the way I grew up is why I was like positioned to do stuff like this. Because not only was I black sheep of my family, I was also black sheep of the community. Like every mom didn't want their daughter hanging out with me. didn't want their son dating me, like and it forced me to create a community outside of the Marshallese community. But whenever I did that, it helped me see everything from the outside looking in, and then experiencing it on the inside while knowing what I see from the outside. Does that make sense? So it really started when I started going in and out of jail because I started to see the way the system operates. The system lo ameragave. It's like I got like not okay. Yeah, it really started when I went to jail. When I started going to jail. But before that, I was experiencing small small time experiencing it throughout like the high school because I went to a predominantly white high school, and as a brown person, that's not, man, there was so much discrimination and racism because I was in the Midwest. I grew up in the Bible Belt. So,
Mm.
yeah, like, the country Christians, you know, the country Christians, predominantly white
Ano,
and Hispanic. Yeah.
kasi ito ganyan, na-promoin your ages real quick.
We're all millennials. Well, I don't know about milk. Milk, how old are you? What year were you born?
Na 83, ako man.
I'm a 89.
Wala ka dito ko. Ano ba? Kitiyan meron kami, we're discussing a lot of us didn't really do it in Nick Canona.
Yeah.
So
So
may bintangan ko man like when Judas did you really you're really serious for what you want to learn about and manipulating that. When you with Judas did so magajangan midak I would take a deep breath and kept kind of the perhaps know how to deliver your message in a way where it haven't come on.
Oh yeah. It takes a lot of it takes a lot of inner healing to be able to
yeah.
deal with people. Because sometimes people respond to you from a place of hurt that has nothing to do with you. But if you haven't healed that same wound that they speak to you from, you're going to respond to them the same. Does that make sense? So it's like
You,
before I address anything, I have to work through it myself because if I say something and someone says and somebody gives me their response back and it's not a positive response, I'm going to take it offensively and then respond with fire. And that's not productive.
yeah.
It's not. When I have a kata especially these negative comments online and stuff, it's not worth your time.
Hmm.
You will see a lot of people follow you, but like, nobody do it. You're just after the truth.
Thank you. Yeah. Like if you guys want to make uh if you guys want to make something move, right? If you want to move something, um you have to it starts with self. Program system targets individuals who vibrate the highest yeah, they know when
Yes.
you're born.
Yeah. That's
If
true.
you're chosen, they know when you're born. They know you from the moment you're born. Like this
Yeah.
whole religion stuff, like I don't know if I've ever talked about it on this platform, but the Matrix, right? So the Matrix, it's not the movie Matrix. That's a documentary.
It's a
That's this life.
documentary.
That's this life. That's this life.
And I think that's why they came up with the and then eliminate pa why when you're born.
You don't need none
It,
of that. Whenever I was pregnant,
so that's to target the chosen ones.
yeah. Also, what do you call it? Public school too. They monitor you. Like, man, the Matrix.
The,
The
the,
Matrix,
the,
the Matrix is waking up every day thinking that you have to do this. You
yeah.
have to clock in. You have to go work for these people. No, that's the Matrix. That's what they want you to think. So when you break out of that Matrix, breaking out of that Matrix means creating your own path. Society tells me I gotta do this, this, and this. I don't want to do none of that. So I'm gonna create my own path. That's how you break the Matrix.
Yep.
Cause this whole life, I don't know, I guess I'm speaking this from my psychedelic trip. This is not real. Like, for example, the big psychedelic trip I had when in 2018, I left my body. But when I explain it to other people, they're like, okay, so you died. But it's like, did I really though? Because it's like I spiraled out. Like, right? So I took the LSD. I took it, and I was sitting right here. Let's just say I'm sitting right here. And then what? Like, if you're on LSD, it goes like the high lasts for 12 hours or 10 hours, depending on how good it is, and it goes up, down, up. You hit a peak, and you come back down. You hit a peak, and you come back down. Right? So whenever I hit one of my peaks, I hit a peak, and like my soul and spirit, it got sucked out of my body on the inside, and I went through, those funnels. I went through the skinny side of a funnel, and it was like this. It was a funnel that went outwards like that. And when I went outwards, when I looked around, everything was black, and it was a grid, right? And I went from traveling at this speed But when I went up outside of the matrix, I started traveling at very, 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 very high speed. I was having a million thoughts at once, and it was not jumbled. And I was around, and I felt good. I felt great. I was happy, but I almost left. I was like, okay, so we're here. Let's go on to the next one. But then it was like there was like this crook in my neck. That crook in my neck was like a pole that connected me to the earth, to the 3D, right? So I couldn't leave because the first thing I remembered was, oh wait, I got family here. I got a grandpa. My Juma's here. My Juma didn't even pass yet. Let me go back. So when I came back to my body, I had to slow down my entire frequency to be able to come back into my body. And
Anthony?
huh? Don't glorify LSD. That's literally, it is a drug. It's a man-made drug. I don't do that no more. And this I was consuming that stuff like crazy before I really figured out what it was. But still, it's man-made. They took a chemical, isolated that chemical, created a liquid, put it on, and created LSD. But then at the
That's what I
same
mean.
time, there's mushrooms. There's also mushrooms. I had a trip on mushrooms too. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
sure.
what I mean. Pag religion, man, but someone will take it the wrong way. Like, for example, you're glorifying LSD, but you're not. You're just trying to explain.
Nope.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
just trying to
Hell.
explain what you're doing. Yeah.
No, because if you use LSD too much, the chemical latches itself onto your spine and it calcifies your joints or something like that.
Oh,
It
really?
just hardens your
Yeah.
bones. Yeah.
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 Also, they have this thing called permafried, where you're in a constant state of highness or within LSD. And yeah, you got to be careful when you're doing.
Yeah,
much.
because let's talk about it. LSD was created for World War II when the Nazis was experimenting on the Jewish. That's what LSD was. Which come
I
on,
cannot with this guy over here, man. It's me, Mario.
yeah.
Uh,
Because from what I learned, LSD shows you the world. Shrooms shows you yourself.
Yeah, spiritually.
Yeah. So whenever I did shrooms, that was crazy. Shrooms let me know Marshallese Pacifica Oceania is the missing piece of the whole entire puzzle.
You know that's why the DJ clarified that as a illegal drug, 'cause they don't want us to know the truth of it.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you saying, Washington?
When you took shrooms, what did you see? What did you experience?
Okay. So when I was on shrooms,
Sorry, I'm gonna eat my burger.
first of all, I couldn't focus with my eyeballs. I had to close my eyes to hear better.
Oh, wow.
But when I closed my eyes, I saw the patterns, moving patterns, because this life is what math and geometrical shapes, sacred shapes. Like this whole like for example, when they say the Matrix, right? The Matrix is a computer and there's codes. This whole life, everything in this life is math. Sacred geometry, thank you. And whenever I was on shrooms, it was weird. It was crazy because I looked into the skies. It was nighttime. I looked into the skies, but it was, oh my god, I don't know. The Galactic War, because if you also look into other history, there was a galactic war that's been going on for centuries. That's how they came to Earth, blah blah blah. They came to Earth looking for gold, but then they saw and they was like, oh, we could actually cultivate and create a civilization here. So they created a civilization. That's why they come from. That's why they come up with the Moors, the Watchers, Anunnaki, all that. So whenever I was on shrooms, I seen that the war that was out there in space was coming closer to Earth. But from what I've been hearing, it's already here. So they said Grumado or Pacifica is the last missing piece. Rakar yugote the map. North is south, south is north. Right?
Thank you.
Yes.
West is
They
east.
flipped it.
East is west.
Yes, rakar yugote kanagaya rakanan. And then what is that word? They want to steer us off from certain prophecies.
Man, I've been saying that. I've been saying that from the beginning. North
But
is
now
south,
you're making me
south
think
is
of
north,
that plot.
west is east, east is west.
Galactic War, are you sure? Yeah, Draconians and Anunnaki, yeah.
Also known as the Fallen.
The Fallen, well, there's, yeah.
And Walukulo, I mean, what kind of stuff did you see out of the Rogoyai?
Like, it, it was, cause it was like a lot of information hitting me at once when I was on shrooms. So, Kumalan, the star on the Marshallese flag. There's a compass, right? There's a compass. They call the compass rose. There's a specific as far as all of the countries in the world that got colonized, right? John Mayman, you could Jane all of Pacifica that we don't know yet. I don't even know yet, but I have a gut feeling because a lot of the times whenever I try to research something, it leads me to Lemuria. I don't know if y'all heard about that.
Yeah.
So what?
Lemuria.
Outside world.
So before they said
Can I
Lemuria.
can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So in the ancient days of the Pacifica, all three Melanesians, Polynesians, and Micronesians, it's been passed down through the gatekeepers, gatekeepers of the Pacific. So there were specific families on all three nations, Pacific, Poly, Melanesian, and Micronesians. There were specific families that were the gatekeepers of the map that they switched out, the flat Earth map, and that's why there's gateways
Because Earth is
to.
flat.
Oh man, I don't know. Should
No,
we talk about it?
yeah, let's talk about it. The Earth is flat.
Okay.
What's the biggest conspiracy theory? It's not a theory, bro. So
Okay, so when you look at the flat Earth map, there's white things around it. That's Antarctica,
it's the ice walls.
the ice wall, and in between the ice wall, there's gaps, big gaps, on the north end, south end, west end, and the east end. So Pacific, they cover the north end. All right, that was the only place that wasn't conquered, colonized.
Oh, okay. Okay,
That's
so
why they say Pacifica was the missing piece.
yes, because if you look at a lot of the like if you look up JFK, right? Some of the pictures of JFK, John F. Kennedy, sitting in his office when he was alive, in the background is a flat Earth map. The UN logo is a flat Earth map. What else? There's a
The
flat.
NASA.
NASA's fake.
Their logo, the flag,
Oh,
the world.
yeah, flat Earth. They created NASA. They also created NASA because then the pilot that went flying over Antarctica, Admiral Byrd, Byrd, I think. Look him
Yeah.
up. he went to Antarctica and came back with a report. When he came back to report, he reported that he went down a canal or something. He went down a cave. He went into Middle Earth. He went into a cave. He went into a whole other land, a whole other Earth. There was a lot of grass, a lot of mountains, just vegetation, animals everywhere. And when he came back and reported that, because he was the first person to fly around, blah blah blah. He was like around Amelia Earhart, you know. He went there. He saw animals. It was just lush green land, everything. And when he went back to the government did something, and then he died. And then all of a sudden, there's a NASA. Because if you look into the history of NASA, they were never focused on space.
Are you allowed to say that word?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want you to get red flag.
I don't believe
But
in
yeah.
the ice wall, nor if the Earth is flat.
So
I could show you the Earth is flat.
can I reply to that message, that comment?
Which one? The ice wall?
The flat Earth.
Yeah, I could show you too, because I have.
So in the book of Genesis, it talks about the firmament, right?
I have proof. It's
The
in
book of
Bible,
Genesis,
in the
it
Old
talk
Testament.
about how God made the firmament. So the firmament has to be like a rainbow shape, right? In order to block the water from above.
Yeah.
Dome.
So that's why we get the 7 layers of rainbow, the 7 colors of the rainbow, and also known as
Because it reflects.
the 7 heaven. If you guys didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Wait, okay. So go to a flat land in the middle of nowhere and you'll see. Okay, because the Earth is flat, right? I don't believe in the ice wall or if the Earth is flat. Okay, so Saint Bible tayo. Saint Joseph Bible, 1970. Published in 1970. Saint Joseph Bible. If you look in that Bible, I have a video of this. I can send it to you because you don't believe. If you look in the Bible, Bwebwenato in Genesis, dome, firmament, water above the skies, water under the skies, and then it shows a whole picture. And it says the flat earth, and then it has the big dome, and then it has water above the firmament, water under the firmament.
Can you ask that person, does that person believe in giants?
Do you believe in giants? I mean, why do Marshallese people have old Bwebwenatos of Chayon? You know? But we're not the only ones with old.
Yeah. So there's
That's
a
what
whole
this is what I'm saying. Whenever we turned and accepted Christianity, we brought ourselves from up here and brought us down to here.
What the New York Giants?
Y'all not heard about those scientists and whatever discovering lakes under the ocean? Yeah, I have, because there was another white man. I think it was back in the 70s or the 90s. He went underwater in a little submarine, and he reported that he found a river under the ocean. It was a whole separate, complete body of water, and they killed his ass.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So that's a portal.
Yeah, this whole world is I'm sorry, we all have been living a lie. Climate change is proof that the earth is round. No, honey, climate change is caused by capitalism because these factories won't stop pumping gas into the skies.
So climate change is a man-made.
Climate change is man-made.
It's not nature-made.
Period.
Climate change, like, this is why I personally feel like it's pointless for Rumajo to fight for climate change, because Rumajo, if you contribute a lot to climate change. So we got the islanders over there, Medero, Yumajo, they're all fighting for climate change, but then when you come to America and you see where all these Marshallese people are working, they're working at those factories.
Factories.
When you stand outside the factories and you look at all the bot that they produce, it goes like what gas emissions. The reason why they don't host or post Greta Greta Thunberg. The reason why they don't promote or post Greta Thunberg anymore is because she linked climate change is caused by capitalism. Capitalism is colonization. Okay? We have a guest request. So, Milk, I have not heard you talk. There's no such thing as climate change. Everything is made from the government. The harp. Harp is a different thing. The harp is different. It's harp. Man, Audubon Norin that they told us is fake. It's very fake.
What do you mean by harp? The factory harp?
HAARP, harp, the weather machine.
Oh, yeah. That's man-made.
That's real too. The weather machine is real too. They cause all these things. The extra hurricanes, the Maui fires, the fires in California, tsunamis.
Yeah.
Hold on,
You
let me
see?
add. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, I was about to say, you want me to change the box thing?
Yeah, change the box.
All right.
We
Hold
add
on.
people.
Cut that out. Let me go to your.
Hold on, I'm trying to.
There. I'm gonna change it right now.
Okay, because I'm snoring over here. Oh, okay, there you go. Okay. Can I be moderator? Yes. I thought you already were, but I don't know if you gotta be on. Oh, we got another one.
Welcome in, Bajolet.
Okay.
Welcome.
And welcome in,
Is 9
Elio.
11 real? I don't think it was Iraq. We just blamed them for it.
Mm.
Okay, that was like a $2 million insurance scam.
Yeah. It was more about gas.
It was
A
an
lot of
Oil.
the witnesses from back then, from when it happened, the ones that recorded on like actual camcorders, they're starting to slowly come out with footage. And when you look at the footage, you see bombs exploding on every floor.
Mm-hmm.
Sister baby को
Yes.
topic था ना यार recording and writing
Yakle.
या कोई topic रहा ना यार
We just read what did we just read? Hold on, let me.
Chapter 1.
I'm posting this episode next week because last week's episode I'm posting it tomorrow. This week. We just covered sociology, social and political structure, inheritance law,
ये लोग
class
welding का
division.
के no यार यो कता कता कॉलेज में topic का नहीं
Yeah, we kind of
yeah
we got lost. We got lost.
We didn't get lost. We just went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, we went.
ये
Yeah,
बना
that's a good.
मन
That's,
meaning करना होगा नहीं अगर
yes, we went down the rabbit hole. We talking about everything that Marshallese people normally don't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, okay. He said, Rooflin said, Rick, wait, hold on, let's not get ahead, stay on topic. The Iraqians were scapegoats for the 9/11. Yes, they were.
Most of the U.S. officials are reptilians.
Yeah, they are. They're all draconians. Wait, if you're against Christianity, what religion are you? I am
Yeah, what religion are you?
I am
spirituality.
spiritual yes
Religion is a set of rules. Religion gives you rules of how to do, how to live, how to worship. Spirituality is just literally simply connecting. No,
You know,
I used to be atheist. I thought I was atheist. I'm not.
you could be Christian. You could be a
no
Christian.
Recep
while
considered atheist,
being open
atheist
minded.
Recep Tanaganich, Recep Tanaga or whatever.
Call her atheist. I'm not atheist, honey. I spent 2 years thinking I was atheist. I'm not atheist. I thought I was atheist. I'm not. Spirituality isn't a religion, but you can you can tend to spirituality religiously. Baby girl is from Beverly Apartment Church. No idea what that is.
You know that person?
What's his
Rebellious.
name? No, I don't even know what Beverly Apartment Church is. What do you think about Charlie Kirk's death? I didn't know about the man till he died. Cause one thing that this society likes to do is force people to feed into things that don't really matter to their everyday life.
Mm,
So stop paying
that's right.
attention to the mainstream news, because it's fear mongering, energy harvesting. Surprisingly, I know what's going on with politics, but I don't know what's going on with the everyday happenings and gossip because they do that on purpose. All these celebrity distractions, that's energy harvesting.
Narong Bajiruman.
Yeah.
And then Kojala and whatever just happened with Charlie, uh, and Narong Chon Bar Matan Minago may like Narong distract the American people from what is actually going on
Yes.
out there. You know,
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
so I was about to.
all even news again, Alakar Walakan, Tagore Walakan, Harimigo, Kare Man, Ajuri, Road, Yalagani, like destroy, like Tada, like Chichapa Tada, by Harimiran, fight back. This is like a genocide. And genocide is like, you know, kind of army
mhm.
can Kare Ajuri Manam. Kumira may Chalagar weapon in fight back. Yung teacher pa war ngan Gaza ba menini walo lo Gaza e war tuan par pero genocide yung menini meragar kamman ngan Charlie Kirk meron
Mhm.
ba RIP ngan tijangin yung condolences to the family of ite berre ilo aligina kada kuan kanan ikan nanagan Bible agay par kanan ay gagan sir ways yalapta ka kare yung menini wal take just to distract the American people.
Yeah. Because this whole time that I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah. Thank you.
No, I was about to say it was to silence the air because one right, the other side got to be silent while the other side is talking, but we cannot hear it on the other side. So everything that is happening is to silence something that is about you was about to bring out.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally think every single thing he did was a distraction, especially this death. Cause the whole time that we've been dealing with we've been seeing like all these Diddy files, Epstein files, all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole time they're distracting us from these things. They have been building military bases in big cities and sending National Guard to guard the cities right now. They're pushing for martial law.
Martial law is about to be in hand.
Martial law is when the army is outside in the street and they're watching you, where you going, who are you with, what's your destination, what's your next destination, where you coming from, monitoring. And they're also pushing this with Evan. The stuff that Charlie Kirk was involved in, like wasn't he pushing for like no gun violence na tayo, or
Mm-hmm.
promoting the
Yeah,
use of guns, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's I see it all as a setup. It's a trap. Like it's fear mongering. Like everything he was doing was to get everybody in the crowd riled up and like everybody's mad about what he's saying. But it's like he's doing that for a reason. It's so that all your focus is on what he's saying that's controversial, so that you're not paying attention to what they're actually doing behind our back over here. Because they trying to because I remember around the time COVID happened, the government passed Everybody was distracted with COVID lockdown, but the government passed a law, a bill, stating that in some states they don't need a warrant to enter your home.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's your phone. So it's like a lot of Rumajo come here to this country and just get a job and just take care of your family a little better. Yeah, you can do that. But you fall into this system. You fall into the same way they treat and have created the system based off of how they mistreated and took everything away from Black Americans. We come here to be in that system. So they treat us all by the same color. It don't matter if you're brown. It don't matter if you're black. We're all still not white. That's the point. And that's the type of environment we're bringing our children here to, and we bring our families here to, but we have no idea about things like racial discrimination, environmental racism, because environmental racism is like the hood versus the rich people neighborhoods. It's like that, because when you go to the poorer neighborhoods, there's more liquor stores. But when you go to the richer neighborhoods in America, there's better like gyms, clinics. But when you go to the poor neighborhoods, there's liquor stores, clubs, bars.
Yep.
That's environmental racism. So when Rumajo come here thinking that they can just freely make money, no, honey, you about to pay taxes. Water is not free. You have to pay rent. And if you own your home, you have to pay property tax.
Mortgage.
You have to pay everything you pay. You damn near gotta pay to breathe. But Rumajo come here and they come and stay in this box within themselves, not realizing that the country we're living in is actually screwing us over, and we have no idea because we're so focused on everything that's going on over there at Mexico, and they don't even give a shit about us either. So
Can I calm your energy right now?
go ahead.
Your energy is like blowing up.
Yeah, because it's like I'm mad. I'm frustrated. I'm very frustrated because a lot of people like to talk down about what I do and how I do it, but I'm trying to give everything that I know from a perspective of I've been here for a long time. I have I've been in and out of this whole system. I lived in the poor neighborhoods. I lived in the rich neighborhoods. I hung out with the poor kids. I hung out with the rich white kids. I hung out with the Rumajos. It's like I've been around this whole system. And I'm seeing the way Marshallese people come here and eat it up and fall into it and then think they're okay. Kumingak, like I said this in my last live. Kumingak ka kumarong tonga na Amerika, imaga wiyang puri. But what Marshallese people like to do, they come here and pay rent for 20, 25, 30 years. Whole time you already paid off your landlord, your manager, all that rent you paid, you already paid off their whole plot of land 15 years ago, and you don't know that. Does that make sense? So it's like I start with mental health and religion because that's the two main things that really screw us over as Marshallese people, especially living in this country. Because the government over there at Mayo, they left us behind. And then the government here, not everybody knows who we are. Because when I was in high school, I graduated in 2011. When I was in high school, I argued with my history teacher. Because he was the lesson was World War II. And then after we finished that lesson, I was like, okay, cool. Now we can get into the Bravo bomb, because the Bravo bomb came before Hiroshima. But whenever they teach it, if like okay, in over there in Washington and some parts of Oregon, they teach Marshallese history, the bomb. Everywhere else, hell no. They don't know who the hell Marshallese are. They don't know how the hell we got here. We got deported because the government hides us too. We did that. Like the first round, not the people that have actual offenses, but whenever they were grabbing random people off the street and deporting them, it's because a lot of the cops and the police, they don't know nothing about Marshallese people. They don't know that our status is different. They have no idea. Like, if you come to America and you get out of Arkansas, you get out of the Marshallese community, and you tell a non-Marshallese person, non-Islander person, I'm Marshallese, they're like, what is that? You from the islands? And then you explain you're from the islands, like, oh, okay, so Hawaii? Because they don't know nothing. They purposely keep in the dark. So when we come here, we start being in the dark with them. Yeah. And I'm frustrated because every time I try to point things out, because this is like what? How old am I now? I'm 32. I've been doing this since I was like 17. I've been talking out to the public since I was 17, and the first few years I was doing that, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, shut up!" And at this point, I never shut up. Now I'm here. Now here I am. But I've been peeping all these things for a long time, and Marshallese people, you get y'all, man, oh man, y'all come here, and y'all think if life is gonna be good, whole time you signing yourself up for jail, prison, mental prison. That's how all these parents, they end up spending all their time at these jobs. And whenever we spend all our times at these jobs, our children are over here going crazy, just hanging out with whoever the hell. And all of a sudden, you see a few Marshallese youth shooting each other on the damn news. You see what I mean? Like we come here, we fall into the system that already created. I'm sorry, that was my rant.
So can I take a 2 cents on the something you said over here? The English language has been proven to have the lowest frequency. Yes, it has. But everything that the English language has, it's all magic.
Made up, like how we say, I'm sick.
Oh, so that's why, like, if you come up with
Yeah.
a word, you gotta
So
the word
if
says spell.
so everything that you said in English, it's manifesting it.
Like,
And the-
I'm broke. Really,
Yeah,
you're
so-
hurting yourself.
You're hurting yourself. That's why.
And
That's
then
why.
when you wake up in the morning, you say good morning. 'Cause
So you're not supposed to say good morning, because who are you mourning to? You're not supposed to be mourning. You're supposed to be
You're gonna spend
rising
your
up.
morning.
You're supposed to be rising up to a grand day. That's why you're supposed to say grand rising. You're rising to a grand, beautiful day. So everything you say in English, like if you say it in a negative way, it's gonna manifest itself.
Yeah.
And that's why when they figured that out, they figured how to lower everybody's frequency, their vibration into the divine, the right divine frequency. That's why you have all of these hip hop, R&B, jazz, blues music, all of these movies is to lower your frequency, and that's why they took out all of the bells in the United States. There is not one single bell in the United States, because the bell is to show your bell, Tristan. That's the healing bell. It heals the
man, I
soul.
love that.
That
I need to
thing,
get one of
the
that.
reason why they took out those things is to heal. They found out that heals your body, your soul, your inner body.
Frequency. It kind of like it recalibrates your frequency back to alignment.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagery what they all in men. So for example,
Mm-hmm.
when you're wrong, the siren. for the warning. And you're gonna feel some type of way, like fear.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it carries a different frequency.
Yeah. So that's why the bells were warning signs too, also. But mainly, that's why they took it out of the churches. So this is where the religions come. So the church is supposed to be the healing hospital for your soul, spiritually.
Yeah.
And that was the one of the thing that they took out from everywhere. The church bells. You guys get where I'm going?
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that's where it all starts with the creator, the most high.
Thank you, Robin Jen. Thank you for joining. Yes, I agree. I feel like over time they started to see all the ways that people were thriving, and every time anyone tried to make it up, they would like knock that down. I'm talking about the elites
Mm-hmm.
like this.
Teddy, jadi ko generong kay war kaging ini kan topic war ano kuara job kuara ko kay topic war
Which one?
topic on boning kay kanono ko.
Oh yeah, it was the social and political structure, inheritance law, class division.
Oh, okay.
We read it the first hour because it's been 2 hours now. We read it the first hour, and I'm gonna post clips.
Aga kia leden awa ko ken ko yung common
Ingay,
live.
John, Jimatan nga John, John awa.
It's like 8:30 right now here in Hawaii.
Oh, okay, wait, Tristan, what time is what time do I usually? What time is it over there when you usually get on my podcast?
07.
Yeah. 3:30 to 5.
Wait, Tristan, yours is 3:30?
No, actually, oh, 6:30 to 8.
Yeah, so yeah, module should be
Module is 3:30 to 5.
yeah.
Hawaii is 6:30 to 8.
Hawaii mo naman.
Yeah. Yeah, mm-hmm. I'm gonna host another live probably tomorrow night because on Saturdays. Sundays lo malo. But
Okay. I'm gonna be logging out.
yeah, it's 1:30, y'all. We've been on here for 2 hours
You
now.
you gave me a lot of brain fart, you baby
Wait,
Cole.
Yes,
invite
Sunday.
your next topic na for your next podcast.
Next button for next week is gonna be because it really
Where's mine,
depends.
Tristan? I
It also
gave you 5.
depends.
I got 0.
I just joined the panel. Freaking rude. Hold on, because okay.
Oh, thank you.
Next week is chapter 2, rights of chiefs, ownership, servitude of commerce, serfdom. Wait, no, time out. No, I just read that.
Kalau kamu dan kar perija kanila look comment section.
Okay, hold on. Chapter 3 is kinship and totemism. Degrees of kinship, classificatory system. Artificial kinship, which is adoption, friendship, foster children, totemism. In maybe chapter 4, marriage, position of women.
Ini ko naman topic kani. Ngay orang yan ngay ko narong walen dito messenger narok email ngay ko email pangan kaya na join next time yung makata na join hindi kaya na kaman na kaya research on it.
Okay, sounds good. I'm still typing everything out and gonna put them all into like a PDF file so that everybody can have it. Everybody can read it. It's gonna be the unofficial translation of this book. So
All right.
okay, thank you for joining everybody. I appreciate it and I shall see y'all.
Kumula kan podcast sinum kumula kan ko jala kada ko follow yo ka tim na lo kan follow back ko jala ini kajut tiglayan na olive rin at your callback. I don't want to accidentally just unfollow you. But when I'm on topic ka na, I can always, come around.
Thank you. Thank you. We shall all hang out again next week.
Yeah, okay.
All
Alright,
right. Come on.
kumain na ulit.
Please bring
Aloha.
your food to break fruit with us.
Oh yes, that hold on, because we also have Eli over here in box 1, and he hosts Breaking Breadfruit podcast, mental health. Well, I like to say Eli's really good with mental health and linking it with Bible verses, and also giving us the word. So on Fridays, if y'all can tune in, and then I'm on Saturdays. So be on the lookout, and thank you for joining, everybody.
Away,
Thank you
Hilay,
for the gift.
we followed each other, so just invite over.
All right, one plan.
Take care.
All right, thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. No, don't hang up. No.